Hello, friends. Um, Jump straight into it. The the reality is, when I started this, I was really far behind where I want to be, and so I'm not like in a traditional position an athlete would be in. The demands placed on me to try and make a certain amount of progress is far higher than that of like a normal athlete. Normally, an athlete, if you're fighting for a starting position, even making a team, the jump you have to make isn't that large. Yes, progress is difficult and you're going to have to make some progress, but it's not some quantum leap. I took on and I'm taking on an aggressive task of going from not necessarily, not even not playing competitively, but not playing competitively to becoming good enough to be called a professional basketball player, someone who gets paid to play, not the NBA, someone who gets paid to play. Oh, so in doing that, I physically had to get myself back in shape, just in shape to see where I am. Then I have to go play in things, develop skills, continue to push my physical abilities, change and modify what I want to do, and so on. So there's a lot of cyclic reworking. And right now, I came back from the Utah tournament last week, sit down. The day I got back from the Utah tournament, just shooting around, I felt fine during the tournament, shooting around. I don't know what happened. I don't know if my fibular head subluxed, like popped out of place and back in, but my right leg, like the joint, is just not happy. And there's a lot of things that could be. Could be IT band issues because of sitting on the plane for so long, hamstring issues, all this stuff. Lots of possible things. Long story short, went down with a little bit of a knee injury for a couple days. And then during that downtime, I sat and thought about it. I was like, wow, the last 9 months, I have shoved myself through a process of physical demand. And it's really, really made me respect how difficult training the sport of basketball itself is. Forget the lifting and jumping and running. If I want to go work on a move and get better at a certain move at a high speed, that move is really demanding. Then I might do like 50 or 70 reps of that move. So it's just astounding how much load you will impose upon the body. In doing so, I have done a very poor job of maintaining certain physical qualities, range of motion, strength for motion, certain eccentric tempo lifting, all that stuff. Mainly because when I got hurt, I took some things back, I removed some things, I didn't add them back in, maybe I didn't fully rehab stuff, and I kind of just kept pushing through, and things started to add up. That is something that I didn't foresee coming nor plan very well. So right now I'm back to the drawing board. I'm adding a lot more stretching, a lot more eccentric work, a lot more range of motion work. I'm aiming for about, in 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks, I'll be feeling much better. Because right now I'm going to go through a little bit more load in terms of the weight room, because the time under tension is going to be a little bit higher for some of the lifting, because I'm going to try and eccentrically lengthen some things. It just makes me really think about how, first off, this was a silly idea to try and pursue, but it's fun nonetheless. But what you can learn from it is when you evaluate your basketball or sport stuff, you try to get better, there seems to be like an infinite number of things you can do. And it's really important that you write out what things you do that support the things you do and what things you do to develop new things. And the reason why I say that is because I added some stuff in, but then I removed some of the stuff that supported my wellness. Stretching, mobility, range of motion stuff, certain exercises. I removed them, maybe because of an injury, maybe because of time, whatever it might be. Looking back on it, should I have removed it? I don't know, maybe not. No, I probably shouldn't have. Should I have planned better? Yes. Did I plan better? No. Can I plan better going forward? Yes. So, as a trainer, as someone who tries to help someone else become better at basketball, these are all things you need to consider. And these are all things you need to prioritize and understand what's going on. Especially the catalyst for all this is whenever someone gets hurt. Because a single injury is the greatest predictor of a next injury. And it's probably just due to the cascade effect that I'm talking about here. You get hurt, you rehab it, you remove something during that time period because you're hurt. You might not bring it back in because you want to play. You don't want to run the risk of it irritating something X, Y, and Z. You keep it removed. You never have it back in. And then you can imagine the downward spiral that causes. So as a trainer, what I would do and what I hope to do going forward is talk about things that support us. I feel like I do a better job with my athletes than I do this with myself. Maybe because I think I can push myself harder. I don't know. But things that support you, things that allow you to do the things you need to do, things that develop qualities, and things that you're toggling back and forth in and out. Certain things that support you, or even things like plyometrics, doing plyometrics, a variety of jumps and stuff. Not necessarily on the basketball court all the time. Is nice because you can specifically stress certain areas. Certain isometrics, certain range of motion, things like walking lunges, just for the sake of range of motion, can be super useful. Things that you can move back and forth, well, maybe certain aspects of skill development, things you're trying to work on, movement shooting, not movement shooting, certain ball handling things, certain acceleration stuff, out of positions, maybe if you're working on defense and you're like, okay, I'm comfortable enough there, I don't need to work on. So like the skill things you can toggle back and forth. The existence of acceleration, though, like that quality should always be there. So maybe some sprints and stuff like that. Another thing I have left out. So along this way, I've made numerous mistakes and a lot of things I wish I had done better, things I hope to do better going forward, and things I'll continue to share with you. So yeah, I'm a little bit beat up right now. I have some aches and pains, mainly because of just sheer volume of trying to do something that no one's pressuring me to do but myself, and maybe that's the most pressure you can feel. But hopefully you can learn from this, because the best thing you can do is be honest with yourself and react to it, versus sit there and just wear it and be like, I don't know, I'm hurt, figure it out later. We really try and problem solve. So part of this whole experience is the fact that I come up with so many different problems. And then I try and solve them to help myself learn how to maybe avoid those problems in the future. Instead of just wandering around as an athlete myself without the sports science brain, I'm trying to do this with my sports science brain to help fully manage the process myself so I can uncover things that can be helpful in the future. So I'm going to get driving here. It's raining out. My car's all steamy because the windows are up and I just got done working out. I appreciate y'all. Hope you guys enjoy these. Take care.